Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Monday, February 5th, 2018. I'm Fredicia Liebert. The Nevis Island Administration NIA, in collaboration with the Nevis Air and Seaports Authority NASPA, will be hosting an environmental impact assessment on Tuesday, 6th February 2018, regarding the construction of a new pier at Bali Beach. Deputy Premier and Minister with assigned responsibility for the project is the Honorable Alexis Jeffers.
We expect to have a wholesome discussion regarding the reason and the rationale for this project and the impact that this project will have on the island of Nevis. In terms of what is envisaged over at the site there at Bali, of course we are building a pier which would be about 250 feet long with a T at the end of that pier. The pier will have amenities such as water, electricity, and indeed it would be 16 feet wide. So it would give you some space to maneuver on that pier. When it's all said and done though, we believe it might be a little bit longer than that, but we're starting at 250 feet.
Minister Jeffers says the pier will be consistent with the operations of those owned and operated by the NIA's Nevis Air and Seaports Authority. The Deputy Premier, who has been involved in the project in its early stages, also gave details about the economic impact of the project. He said the island will not see returns immediately, but in the next 25 years, returns on the investment will be seen. Minister Jeffers also expressed hope that marketing will be done by the Nevis's hotels and restaurants, as well as the booking agents at the Vance W. Amory International Airport, to attract the guests from Park Hyatt to the island.
Once persons come from Park Hyatt or go back and forth, they would have the need for taxis. So you expect the taxi operators to benefit. Not only that as well, the regular passenger bus owners, they would want to schedule themselves to coincide with workers moving back and forth to provide that means of transportation for those who don't have vehicles. Boaters, I'm sure, would have to pay a monthly fee to operate or to utilize the service, similar to what is happening in Charlestown.
Tomorrow evening, Tuesday, February 6th, at the Franklin Brown Community Center, a brief overview will be given to explain the work that is planned for the area and how it will benefit the island. A question and answer segment will follow. The session will begin at 7 p.m. All are invited to attend. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China, Taiwan, made an official visit to the island of Nevis on Saturday, February 3rd. The Honorable Dr. David Lee and his wife, Mrs. Lin Shi Lee, and their delegation arrived at the Four Seasons Resort via water taxi, escorted by the St. Kitts and Nevis Coast Guard. They were welcomed by St. Kitts and Nevis's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, and his wife, Mrs. Sharon Brantley, as well as Deputy Premier, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, and Miss Culture 2017-2018, Kalitra Swanston, who presented Mrs. Lee with a bouquet of flowers. The visit included a private meeting between Premier Brantley and Minister Lee and their wives. Hosted by the Honorable Mark Brantley and Mrs. Sharon Brantley, Minister Dr. David Lee and Mrs. Lin Shi Lee, and the other guests of honor also attended a dinner at the Coconut Grove Restaurant and Wine Lounge. In a brief photo opportunity, gifts were exchanged between the Ministers of Foreign Affairs and their wives.
Yes. We're very, very happy to have you, yes, Excellency, and we look forward to strengthening our bonds of friendship with the people and the government of your country. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you to the entire delegation. Thank you to all who have made this possible. And we trust that you take fond memories of our country back with you. Please give your president and your government our highest regards.
We will.
As we look forward to continued cooperation and friendship.
Minister and Premier, I think it's a distinct honor for us to be invited to visit your beautiful island of Nevis. The name of Nevis has been on my mind for at least 2 decades. And today, finally, we got opportunity to take a look. Even though it's a very brief look, but it has left a very deep impression.
Thank you.
And I can assure you that we will come back.
Following dinner, the Honorable Dr. David Lee and his wife departed Nevis via water taxi from the Four Seasons Resort at Penny's Beach for Christophe Harbour on St. Kitts. The Ministry of Health will continue to invest in programs that address cancer prevention, treatment and control, says Junior Minister of Health, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams. The Health Minister is urging residents to take advantage of the programs and services offered through the health sector to reduce the impact that cancer has on our population.
In Nevis, cancer is also one of the leading causes of illness and death, with an average of 26 new cases over the last 3 years. It is one of the leading causes of death, along with heart disease and stroke. In St. Kitts and Nevis, the most common cancers are breast, cervical, and prostate cancers.
As noted by Minister Brandy Williams, in an effort to address the risk factors for cancer, the Public Health Department has developed many programs geared towards cancer prevention and control.
Healthy diet and exercise are promoted at primary schools through initiatives such as My Healthy Plate and Chef Academy. The latter program involves a practical component as well as an agricultural element through the installation of hydroponic garden systems in some schools. At health centers, workplaces, and in communities, health education sessions are also conducted by nurses and health educators, as well as in partnership with non-governmental organizations, including Pink Lily Cancer Care and Nevis Maternal Health Fund.
Early detection is also a critical part of cancer prevention, the health minister noted.
Vaccination programs at all 6 health centers are also important in cancer prevention, with hepatitis B already a part of the vaccination schedule, and the HPV vaccine, which will be introduced later this year. Condoms are also available at all health facilities and at private establishments, and are effective in preventing the transmission of the aforementioned diseases if used correctly and consistently. Screening activities for cancer include Pap smears, which are available at all health centers and key in the prevention of cervical cancer.
Junior Minister of Health, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, delivering an address to mark the observance of World Cancer Day on Sunday, February 4th, 2018. Still to come.
We're here in Nevis to do a country assessment to see if there are any areas, any project areas that we might be able to help you with.
The details after this break.
Hello, my name is Culturama, the Caribbean's greatest summer line. Most islands have their festival annually, but they call it Carnival. With all those shows, we fete and fun. We party from sun up to sundown. Everybody come now, show the world what we mean when we talk about Culturama. Rocks up, rocks up. Flags up, flags up. Time to wake up for the jam. We coming down early to be morn. Rocks up, flags up. Flags up, flags up. Time to jump up in the van.
Welcome back. A team from the Maria Holder Memorial Trust Fund visited Nevis on Wednesday, 31st January, and paid a courtesy call on the Deputy Premier, the Honourable Alexis Jeffers, at his office at Penny's. The purpose of the visit was explained by Chief Project Manager Jean Armstrong.
We're here in Nevis to do a country assessment to see if there are any areas, any project areas that we might be able to help you with, to fund. We work in Barbados and some of the other OECS countries, and St Kitts Nevis is one of the countries we aren't yet in, so we're here for a few days looking at what we might be able to do. We're interested in social development type projects, education projects, and we've had a very nice meeting here today, and we've certainly got some ideas to take away with us and think about when we return to Barbados.
Armstrong explained what the next step in the process will be after gathering the information from the island.
We are governed by a board of trustees, and what we'll be doing is reporting back to our trustees. We'll write a report, we'll make recommendations in that report, and then the trustees will discuss that and come to a decision one way or other if they want to be present in St Kitts and Nevis, because we're looking obviously at the two islands. This will take us a while. It's not going to be that soon, but we will keep in touch with everybody here that we've seen and spoken to, and keep you up to date, you know, with what the response is from our Board of Trustees. Deputy Premier, the Honourable Alexis Jeffers, expressed his deep appreciation for the visit and gave a summary of the meeting.
Based on our discussions, it is obvious that there may very well be some opportunities down the road once you'd have done your assessment and report as well. We're hoping that you would find favor in what we would have spoken about today. Indeed, other countries have benefited. It certainly means that there is scope and there is some hope down the road for the island of Nevis, and more so the Federation of St Kitts and Nevis. We spoke about our challenges in terms of our young men and young women, of course, who would have exited school without the necessary academic profile, so to speak. Those are the ones who we mainly would have a challenge with here.
Also present at the meeting were Project Manager Donna Clark and Coordinator of Gender Affairs Division of the Department of Social Services, Laureen Archibald. The Maria Holder Memorial Trust Fund is a charity organization which identifies worthwhile projects that will have a positive impact on the lives of vulnerable and disadvantaged people. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Colin Dorr, says he is pleased with the work that has taken place so far on the Nevis Island Administration's Treasury Building Reconstruction Project. We spoke to Dorr at the construction site earlier today. He gave us an update on the project, which commenced late last year.
The work would have been contracted to Lefco Equipment Rental and Construction Company. As you see, we are here now at the foundation stage. They would have poured the foundation yesterday. The next phase in this project would be the erection of the steel frame, which we expect to happen sometime within the next 14 days. We are quite pleased with the work because, as we are aware, we are working in an area close to the sea where there was always the challenge of the high tide and the rising water level. But the contractor was able to get through all of that and get us this far, which we are quite pleased with. We are hoping that, barring any inclement weather as we go into the year, that work would progress smoothly. The building would be based on what was conceptualized earlier, which is, when you look at it from the outside, you'd actually be seeing 3 floors. Again, the height is still within the buildings in and around it in Charlestown. The building, when completed, would host the Inland Revenue and Treasury Department, along with some aspect of the Information Technology Department. As you're aware, we have a number of sensitive documents at the Inland Revenue Department which need to be protected from any form of disaster. And so we have built into this structure a vault, not only to serve Inland Revenue, but all the other entities on this building who would require secured area for their delicate files.
Dorr also used the opportunity to thank the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation, SIDF, as the building is an SIDF-approved project.
We want to say thanks to the SIDF for the financial assistance and to congratulate the contractor for the great work done so far in getting us this far, even working with the difficult conditions we have had over the past weeks. The overall cost of the project is in the region of $8 million. of which the SIDF would have funded $6.5 million. And so there's a shortfall of $1.5 million, which the administration will have to seek funding to complete when we get into the final phase somewhere in early 2019. It is our intention to first draw down on the funds from the SIDF, which give the NIA sufficient time to reorganize itself and to make the additional funding available to complete the project.
According to DOR, the project, which is anticipated to be an 18 to 24-month project, should be completed by mid-2019. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Felicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.